Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're breaking down a new kind of literacy that's frankly not optional anymore in our digital world. We're talking about the ability to critically understand and, more importantly, question generative AI.
So we all know that digital tools have this huge potential, right? They can be used to raise civic awareness, to fuel some really positive change, and to give a voice to so many important causes. It's a world of incredible opportunity.
But here's the flip side. That same power comes with some serious risks. You've got deepfakes, you have incredibly sophisticated misinformation, and bots that are literally designed to mislead people. So the real question is, how do we prepare ourselves, and especially the next generation, for this new reality?
So what's the answer? Well, it's about developing a totally new skill set. This isn't just about knowing how to use AI. It's about understanding it on a much deeper level. And this new literacy is really built on a few key educational pillars. Okay, first things first, what is this thing we're talking about? Critical GenAI literacy isn't about being a coder. As you can see here, it's about interrogating power and representation. It's about learning to ask three really simple but absolutely crucial questions about any AI tool. Who built this, who's benefiting from it, and who might be harmed by it?
Okay, so how in the world do you actually teach something this big? Well, the source materials suggest methods like project-based learning. This gets students out of the textbook and throws them into solving real, messy, complex problems, which is exactly where these AI issues live.
And this is absolutely key. This new literacy has to be for everybody. That's where something called universal design for learning comes in. It's basically a framework to make sure we're teaching in a way that's accessible and actually works for all students, no matter how they learn. And last but definitely not least, and this is a big one, this education has to honor who the students are. Culturally relevant pedagogy makes sure that what's being taught actually connects to students' own lives, their own histories, and their own backgrounds. That makes the whole conversation about AI's impact personal and way more meaningful.
All right, so that's the theory. But what does this actually look like when the rubber hits the road? Let's dig into a really powerful example where all of this comes to life.
This quote from AI researcher Joy Buolamwini just perfectly captures this mindset. Instead of just joining in on the hype and celebrating every new piece of tech, she did the opposite. She created a counterpoint by hunting for its failures.
What she created is something called a counter demo, and it's brilliant. Think of it as using technology against itself. It's a form of digital activism that creates a counter-narrative to fight back against the hidden flaws inside that very same technology. And this just shows you the historical weight of this idea. Back in the late 1800s, the amazing journalist Ida B. Wells used the cutting-edge technology of her time, photography, to expose the horrific injustice of lynching. Today, Joy Buolamwini is using the counter-demo to expose digital bias. It's the same exact spirit of activism, just with a 21st century weapon.
Her work really zeroed in on two critical types of harm. First, you have representational harm. Like an image generator that just spits out stereotypes when you ask for a picture of a doctor or a CEO. And then you've got allocative harm, which is when a bias algorithm unfairly denies someone a loan or a job, affecting how real-world stuff gets handed out.
Okay, so this is huge. The crucial question is, how do we take this powerful idea of the counter demo and critical literacy and actually bring it into the classroom? How do we empower students to do this kind of work?
Well, it's done through a really clear, actionable process. Students don't just learn about problems, they get their hands dirty solving them. They find a problem that matters to them, they research the heck out of it, they come up with a real solution, and then they actually take action and report back on what happened.
And look at the kind of things they can dig into. We're not talking about dusty old topics here. We're talking about algorithmic bias, data privacy, environmental justice, health equity. These are the defining issues of their generation.
So let's pull back for a second. Why does all of this matter so much? Because we're not just talking about an interesting new teaching strategy here. It's way bigger than that.
Yeah, the source material does not mince words. It calls teaching this a moral imperative for educators. This isn't just another subject to cram into the schedule. It's a fundamental responsibility we have to prepare students for the world they're actually going to live in.
And in the end, it all boils down to this one question, right? Are we just teaching our students how to be passive consumers of whatever future technology gets handed to them? Or are we empowering them with the critical skills they need to be co-creators of that future, to build a more just, a more equitable, and a more democratic digital world? The choice, really, is ours.